Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. We're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should. And what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, G. Hey, it's just
Operating from the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
To throw again. Fields steps away to his left. And he's going to keep. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, When they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line to get?
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Prater for the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Now they try the right side here. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
We'll call that a punt at 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
A.J. Boye up to make the tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Eluding the pressure right. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Looking to throw. Fields. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Fields. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They give to Johnson going right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out. Because
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Trey Flowers there on the tackle.
What an advantage having a lead guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run. Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. McKenzie now to return it. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. 4 down, 4 down. Mike 35, Mike 35.
Throwing on first down. Fields. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First down Detroit. 16 yards on the pickup. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check 55 to over. Check 55 to over.
From the gun. Fields. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Throwing again. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson. But now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They start the drive with Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Rolling to his right. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they, when they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Here's a 2nd and 7. Going deep for Diggs. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. To return is McKenzie. A second broken tackle. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Johnson running right. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
4 down, check, 4 down.
On 3rd down, Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kyler Fackrell. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. To throw on 3rd down, Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Another drop, still not.
Just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And out now come the Vikings. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
8-3. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down now, it's Cook, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. They'll drop the throw.
Could just sit on it here. Could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Again, it's Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
We got 6.
A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
No lead safe in the new NFL, but this score is really going to give them some needed breathing room.
Extra point good by Prater. And it's now 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Dancing to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Fields. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
On 1st down, Fields. A quick throw here, that's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Watch his play. Echo. Check right. Watch it.
On fourth down, Fields. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
Watch the run.
At the 47-yard line.
55.
On first and 10, Fields. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Looking to throw. Fields. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A gain there of 21 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it second and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Let's go, baby.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On the ground, it's Cook. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Pull it together.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Martin now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. And he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. So a change of possession here on the punt. So now the Lions down 14-7. And time, a huge factor. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Back to throw. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. Mike 59.
He's back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So now it's 4th down and short, and whatever they do, run or pass it, they've got to pick up the first here.
Yeah, and you mentioned running it. That is still an option, but as you've also said, they've got to do it quickly and get back to the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Back to throw.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Let's go. You tighten up. Mike 55. Mike 55.
Back to throw. Fields. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Looking to throw. Fields. And that will be incomplete.
I'm going to get you all day.
He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you describe that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going to go on the field, but okay, I see you. On 4th down, Fields. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This is the type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Vikings, it'll be a much happier locker room here as they get that first win after 5 straight losses to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they fall to defeat for the second time this season. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought they could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh there with the hands. Thought they could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash, honey y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic.